Lisa Bingham, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I practiced law for 10 years. I was a management labor lawyer for the public sector in Connecticut, and then I became an academic. And when I became an academic, I wanted to take advantage of this wonderful gift that is being able to teach and do research on anything you want, to do research that made a difference in the world. So I cared about dispute resolution. I cared about voice processes for employees. And I started to do research on arbitration, and then I began a project on dispute resolution in the federal government. And that's how I became interested in mediation.
Okay. And that's what brought you to the redress program, a mediation program set up by USPS.
Yes. In fact, I called up the Postal Service looking to interview their dispute resolution specialist, Cindy, and it turned out it was Cindy Halverlin, and she was just beginning the process of getting the Postal Service to think about how to use alternative dispute resolution.
And then all those years later, you had a lot of data to analyze about what the impact of this mediation program at the largest employer in the U.S., at that time 800,000 employees, and so you had a lot of data. Tell us about what that data showed you.
Well, we started our collaboration on research with the first pilot program and developed a set of questions that we asked every participant in mediation right after the mediation was over. And we also asked their representatives to fill out exit surveys, so that at the end of 12 years, I ended up with 270,000 exit surveys in a database, which consistently said, and we'd see the same result over and over again. As soon as we had about 50 exit surveys in a zip code, we had this pattern where employees and supervisors, complainants and respondents, were very highly satisfied with the process of mediation, with the mediators, and with the outcome of mediation. More satisfied with the process and the mediators, little less satisfied with the outcome, but still the large majority of people were satisfied with all three.
And what kind of percentages of satisfaction? People that are highly satisfied or satisfied in those various categories?
91 to 92% of every employee, supervisor, and representative was satisfied or highly satisfied with the process of mediation. 96 to 97% of every employee, supervisor, representative for both sides was either satisfied or highly satisfied with the performance and fairness of the mediators. And then about 60 to 68% of the employees, supervisors, and representatives were satisfied or highly satisfied with the fairness of the outcome, with its impact on the long-term relationship of the parties. And the interesting thing about the study is the Postal Service used a model of mediation that most agencies were not using at the time.
And what was that?
It's the transformative model. Most agencies were using, there were two models that were prevalent in the early years of dispute resolution. One was used more in a community setting, an environmental setting, called facilitative mediation, where the mediator used interest-based negotiating techniques to try to figure out what everybody needed and help them have a conversation to get to a settlement. Then evaluative mediation was more used in courts and also in labor law, and your mediator would come in and basically tell everybody who's going to, what the strengths and weaknesses were of their cases, sometimes tell them who was going to win and who was going to lose.
So this is now something different.
It's completely different. And now for something completely different. It was a process that did not have settlement as a goal, which immediately distinguishes it from the other versions. Instead, the goal was to empower the parties, to help them learn how to manage and resolve their own conflict. And there was this theory behind it that people are capable of actually growing ethically and morally, experiencing a moral development through conflict if they're given the right opportunity and support to express themselves and learn more about what's brought them to the conflict, what emotions they're experiencing, and how that causes them to interact with the other person. The second goal is actually beyond empowerment is recognition of the other person's perspective. So this notion that if someone becomes empowered and becomes more secure in their own sense of self and their understanding of the conflict, they then can open up and become more receptive to hearing what the other person's perspective is, and they may actually get to a point where they say, oh, I get it now, I understand, and they may actually get beyond that to apologize for their role contributing to the conflict.
And were you able to measure these other aspects that seem central to this type of transformative mediation?
We tried. This is a difficult thing to measure, but the kinds of things we asked people to tell us were things like, did you listen to the other side? Did the other side listen to you? Did you learn something new about the other side's view or perspective on the process? Did the other side learn something new about you? Did you apologize to the other person? Did the other person apologize to you? And we got some pretty steady responses. About 70% of the time, both employees and supervisors reported that they listened to each other, and that the other person listened to them. And this was new and different at the Postal Service. And then about 30% of the time, employees said a supervisor apologized to them, and the supervisor also reported that the supervisor apologized to the employee. So we did have some interesting results that indicated voice. Listening is a form of empowerment. If somebody listens to you, they're treating you in a different way from if they ignore you, right? So that voice, listening, and recognition in the form of some apologies, about a third of the time.
Okay. I just want to thank you, Lisa, for coming all the way from Bloomington, Indiana,
It's not so far.
to tell us about this at the conference organized by EMAC. And you, in fact, did part of it in French. Congratulations.
Thank you for tolerating my French.
Thank you so much, Lisa.